Do you have a travel trailer step problem? Well, I do. It's just not enough support. Come on, let me explain. Our travel trailer steps are flexing, and when you go in and out, it just rocks the whole camper. I thought I had a solution, but it just didn't work out. I purchased a set of these step supports, thought it would solve the problem. I put them up under the bottom step, and it did take the flex out of the bottom step. But then when you stepped on the second step, it would flex there. So it didn't solve the problem. I thought about modifying the step supports, but everything I came up with, it just seemed like it was too costly. Everything that I thought about how I could make it work just cost a lot more than what I wanted to spend. And you know me, I'm cheap. So I came up with an alternate plan. I'm going to take those step supports that I purchased and send them back and start all over. Let's go ahead and get over here to the steps and measure them to get our desired dimensions. The inside dimension of the second step is 23.5 inches. Then from the bottom of the second step down to the ground is 17 inches. So those are the dimensions that I've got to work with. Okay, we've got some dimensions. Now let's go ahead and go over here to the workshop and start measuring and cutting and assembling and getting this thing put together. Come on, let's go. First, I'm going to measure and cut my support 2x4. Okay, that's the first cut. Got to cut a couple more. Hold on. Now I'm going to cut and measure my filler block. Nope, I'm going to measure and cut my filler block. That was quick and easy. Not so bad. Now we're going to cut our two legs. We're going to cut them both different sizes. No, we're going to cut one size and one the other size. No. Anyway, we're going to measure and cut the legs. Okay, that was the first leg. Now for the second leg. Come on, let's get this thing cut. Now for a little sanding. All right, so that's all the cutting I got to do. I got my support piece cut. I got a filler piece cut. I got two legs, one of one size and one of another size. Now let's put this thing together and I'll explain why the different size legs. Now this is the hardware I'm going to use to build this DIY support original Steve Turtle only support thing. I got a 36-inch long 3/8 piece of all thread. I'm going to use a couple 3/8 nuts, a couple 3/8 washers. I'm going to use two of these hinges for the legs, maybe some miscellaneous hardware, and then a turnbuckle. There you are. When I'm done, I hope it looks something like this. We'll see. Let's put it together. First, I'm going to attach the filler block to the support 2x4. Then I'll attach the longer leg to the support 2x4, and then the shorter leg to the filler block. This is COVID wood. It's as cheap as it's always been, but it costs a lot more. So we got that. Now for the shorter leg. My intention was not to use these smaller wood screws. Actually, I was going to use 1 1/4 inch drywall screws, but I can't find them. They're here somewhere. But for now, to get the assembly done and check out the concept, I'm going to go ahead and use these. All right, there you go. There it is. I hope those are about the same. Let's check them. See how good we are. So that's 17 1/4. And this one, ow, is 18 1/4. So I'm off by a whole inch. So that's good. I'll be able to trim. I'll be able to trim that down. I wanted to take some off of this anyway. We'll just whack off that 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch. And we'll see what happens. I don't know if you heard me or not. I got this thing together. Let's go over to the travel trailer steps and put this support up under them and see what we got. See how well it works. I got to measure the legs and decide where I'm going to poke these holes in the legs so I can tie it all together with the yawl thread. Come on, let's go on over. Don't be staring at me. Give me a hand. Hold this thing for me. So that's the one leg, and then the support is up under the steps, and then the other leg's over here. I think I'm gonna go 6 inches up on the leg. I'm gonna drill my hole, and I'm gonna do it at this angle. Sort of gives me an idea. The angle's off a little bit. It's not gonna hurt, but I wanted the angle to be pretty much, you know, the way it should be. So let's go over here and drill these holes and get ready to install the yawl thread. Let's go over and size it up. I'm gonna hit a water right now. It's hot. I'm starting to sweat. I don't want to get dizzy and fall and crack a hip. That yawl thread's a little tight. I'm gonna have to drill it out a little bit more. All right, I drilled it out to 7/16 this time. Let's see if this is a little better. And as you can see, it's getting a little hot. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this yawl thread cut and get it over here and get it assembled. Let's see what it looks like. Here goes nothing. Put one rod through. Put the other rod through. Then I'm going to put a turnbuckle in between the two. I don't know why this thing's so hard to go on. But it does not want to start. I think those threads are messed up. Sometimes in the heat of the battle, you think you got it all figured out, but you don't. So I got a turnbuckle for the middle to draw the two pieces together. Well, of course, one side of the turnbuckle is left-hand thread, the other side is right-hand thread, which I thought that's the way it's supposed to be. But both my yawl threads are right-hand thread. So of course it doesn't work like that. So I came up with the alternate to the alternate plan, and I think it's going to work. Watch what I'm going to do. Okay, I opened that up. I'm going to use the left-hand thread to the turnbuckle and the hook on the one leg. I'll show you. So I'm going to take that hook that I opened up, place it through the one leg, put that on it, put that right there, tighten that up. Then I hook the hook over that, and now I should be able to take the two and let's see if I can get the direction right. I should be able to make this thing work. There we go. Come on now. Come on, baby. There you go. Now I should be able to do this and pull everything in nice and tight. All right, got it all together. I think it's going to work. Let's give it a test stomp. Well, I think it's much better. It's a whole lot better than it was. I'm still tinkering with it. I'm gonna tighten everything down, add that extra nut. I didn't add that yet. And then I'm gonna paint it up, put it back on. I'll show you the finished step support. Oh, and I also attached it to the steps. I went out and got some 2-inch long flathead screws with nuts. So I'm gonna attach it to the step permanently. And I think for now, I'm just gonna wrap a bungee cord around it when I fold it up and get it ready for traveling. Until maybe later I'll come up with a strap or something. I don't know. I worked up a sweat. I made that look a lot harder than it was or needed to be. Obviously there was some trial and error. But at the very end I'll put everything together and try to give you some angles, dimensions, sizes, and all that good stuff so that if you plan on doing something like this, maybe you won't go through half the crap that I went through. So hopefully it works. Let's try it out and see how good it worked. The support 2x4 ended up to be 18 inches long. The long leg ended up to be 15.5 inches long, and the short leg 14 inches long. The yawl thread, I cut it at 23 inches. I left it a little long. I did have to go by another length of yawl thread because the one I originally planned to use was a little short, I want it a little bit longer. And I left 6 inches hanging over just in case I might want to do something else. I did drill the holes out to a 1/2 inch and change the angle just a little bit so it could move around as I adjust it up or down. And I tightened up the nuts at the hook and the nuts at the other end of the turnbuckle. And I think it's going to be okay. I slid a 2x4 up underneath, give it a firm stance on the ground, and see if that'll help a little bit. And I think it's going to work out. I'm happy with it. I might play around with it a little bit more. Okay, there it is. Installed. There we go. And until later, thanks for your time. Bye.